Oh man, this
All
guy,
right.
I hate how bad this guy is. This hurts my brains.
Give me a point at me or something. It's supposed to do it. Shoot, you can't point at me. All right, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna be quiet and wait 10 seconds so you can cut this up later.
In the editing machine, yes.
Yeah. And welcome, friends, fiends, gentlemen, gentle doodads, to once again the most famous of all internet video game live Twitch podcasts. We are No Shots Fired with a special guest star, Tommy Tom.
Tommy Tom.
One of your valiant regular co-hosts, if you can call our show regular, Valen, and this is Doc, and we are once again.
This is really boring.
Well, you got to do an intro. What would you? Okay, you want to hear your intro,
Why
guest star?
Your intro just already recorded.
Oh my god.
No.
Okay.
Have you listened to podcasts? That's not
a thing.
It's like the weekly topic and who you are. It's not a thing.
All right, welcome to episode 13 with Debbie Downer. We're calling it Shudder, the Despot's commander, for reasons that should be self-explanatory.
No explanation needed there.
So, it's just, we'd like to do regular episodes, so we're here for our just past 1 year in between episodes.
We're doing one a year.
To be fair, we've talked a lot in the interim, we just haven't recorded it. So,
that is true. And that's a form, I mean, doing annual podcasts is a form of regularity.
That's true. That's true.
Probably hard to gain a following or...
Yeah. So what games have we been playing lately?
Lately, I've been... Well, I mean, we could probably look at our last podcast and be identical.
I have still not completed Persona 5. That's very true.
I still play Counter-Strike and Rocket League.
Still good games.
Thomas, you tell the crowd. Oh wait, or can we not address?
I'm playing right now.
Currently playing Miniatures.
In the middle, important things. Fucking A.
You can watch him.
You bring in some help, and they're just not. It's tough to find.
I think he's been an excellent co-host so far. Do we even ever usually get people to do the guest co-hosting thing with us?
We had Matamos a few times. He gave up. We had your mom, which was fantastic.
Yeah, that's true. She was a great co-host.
That was a great co-host. We need to get Junkblade on here.
We do.
I just want him to get streaming again, but
he actually just started playing Dark Souls 3. Have you ever played Has anyone here played Dark Souls? Any of the Dark Souls games?
I have not.
Tommy has.
I own Dark Souls, so I probably should at some point, but it's very hard.
Maybe we should talk about what games we would like to play.
Okay.
I got nothing.
Okay.
I play everything.
As you can see, one of the items on our list here is Detective Pikachu.
Okay,
storming the nation.
So it's a detective game.
It's a very simple, obviously it's Pokemon, so it's centered for kids, but you run around with a Pikachu, which has a voice of a 1940s detective, which is fantastic. And that's all I really need. I don't really care about anything. I'm trying to find, I can't remember the Apom. He stole a necklace from a little girl, and I'm trying to find it. Solving the clues, tracking them down. And I got a sassy Pikachu detective with me. It's great. So
they didn't go for like a gritty...
They only went gritty in terms of the voice, and I think that's the best part. So, I mean, it could make a turn. I'm only on the first case. Who knows?
But he's not.
What grisly crimes we will uncover in the city of? I don't remember the name of the city. It's fine.
But probably a city from one of the games, I would assume.
I actually didn't recognize it, but I guess I have not. There's a lot of Pokemon games, so I guess.
Yeah, I stopped after.
Wait, okay, there's Pallet Town.
Yeah,
Lavender City.
I think I remember Lavender City.
Lumi?
Ooh, good news.
Sataluna? Okay.
Good news, guys. Arlene Kozhvikova started following me on Instagram. This is probably legit.
Oh.
Who?
I want you
Arlene
to describe the
Kozhvikova?
first picture that comes up on her Instagram.
Sure. It is a lady in a bathing suit, and I don't understand
Damn it.
why you would wear this to a beach. It's kind of like it's a one piece, but several holes have been removed from the one piece, so
Artistically cut away. I get it.
It's effectively a bikini. Also, doesn't look very
Okay, so
practical.
that's Valen's porn bot Instagram update, which is good.
However, the second picture is of a completely different girl in a bikini, so I don't know what Arlene looks like.
A group Instagram account.
She is described as a freelance search consultant and piano instructor, ages 5 to 105.
A freelance what consultant?
What?
Piano instructor.
You said search consultant?
Search consultant.
Is that an actual thing?
You know, it's got to be, right? I mean, she's got 108 followers, so...
Yeah. I'd keep that, I'd cultivate that relationship, I think.
I thought that was important in the middle of the video game podcast to talk about.
Okay, back to topical things. God of War, huge game, sweeping the country. None of us have played it, but I think I watched a trailer a while ago.
Yeah.
And those games are very violent, so it's probably violent. But there's a little kid, so that's probably something. I did buy it, so I'll probably play it at some point.
Have you played like the 7 others that they have?
Absolutely not. I have not.
Are you familiar with the God of War lore?
Yeah, he's angry.
Right, that's all I know.
He's covered with the ashes of his dead family. So.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why he's so pale. And he blames the gods, so he goes killing the Greek gods. I think it turns out it's actually his fault, though, that his family. Yeah, but now he's turned to the Norse gods and said, "Hey, I've killed all the other ones, so now I'm bored. So you're."
I thought he killed a bunch of titans.
Those are Greek. That's the Greek mythology.
Right, but like I thought.
I don't know. It was like he did it all. It was very spectacle laden, but super gross. So I hadn't tried it up till now. So we'll see how long I last.
Is he gonna fight Jesus at some point?
If this was a Japanese studio, yes, absolutely.
Yes, yeah.
It is not.
Might be a little controversy.
Okay, so we've done Greek, we've gone to Norse mythology. What would be another mythology that they would go to next after he's, bloodshed through that one? What's even another like westernly famous one?
Oh my god!
Because I don't think you can do you can't do Indian.
No. I mean that's the problem is you can't really do any religion that's still alive.
Still being practiced by serious people. And you can't do no. You can't. No, I'm not even.
Well, no. I mean, I think they got to start recycling because you have to do it so it's familiar enough.
I think we transitioned to movie franchises. That's
what. Well, what about
God of War, Mary Poppins?
What about
there were a lot of animals in that cartoon world.
I think he's got to turn around and appeal to the fundamentalist Christian audience and kill atheists.
I like this. Oh, he's gonna kill Carl Sagan and all these people he created because he killed all the gods, and now they had nobody to worship.
So he proved them right. Isn't that the problem?
Right. Well, he just can't have anybody being right. I think is his problem.
Sounds like you're just describing a Call of Duty game at that point, though, for just killing normal people.
Well, that was kind of what. A lot of these shooters have kind of transitioned into the same game. Like Call of Duty, weren't they jumping off walls and all futuristic and stuff? And
they were for a little bit, but then they went back to World War II. Who knows what they're going to do? Oh no, I do know. It's Call of Duty Black Ops 4. It's actually not going to have a single player. which means, okay, cards on the table. I haven't played a Call of Duty since Modern Warfare 2, but if you wanted me to even consider it, taking away a single player is a way to make sure I don't, because.
I feel like that's just getting super lazy.
One game I meant to have us try was the Battlefield World War I game.
I would like to see that.
I'm just curious because that's not one that's been done a ton.
Do they in Battlefield 1? I really hope when you survive the war, they show the purposeless wandering of the lost generation.
I think you end up being J.R.R. Tolkien. Spoilers, but
yeah. That would be incredible.
So it's a really long writing simulator. You have to invent languages. It's 100% in that game is something else.
One thing I really do like in that game, all honestly, is when you die in that game, they list the name of a real person who died in the war. So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I know they used to do like quotes, right? Oh, is that Battlefield you're talking about? Or
no, the World War I Call of Duty, I believe, when you die in that, they...
Well, World War II Call of Duty?
No, the World War I.
Has Call of Duty
is that
done
Battlefield? Am I confusing things?
Who
did the World War I game?
Battlefield.
Oh, did I lose everybody?
Battlefield did it. But they just did it.
Have I lost it?
I can hear you.
We're cutting in, we're cutting out. No, I'm back. I'm back, baby. I'm back. It's like I never left. Anyway, cool touch in a game that I might be messing up my games.
Okay.
One,
All right, time for Doc's Amiibo Corner. Let's see what's.
Oh yeah, show me.
Which one we can reach? I've got Wedding Mario, looking very dapper in a all-white tux, red bow tie.
Whose wedding?
Classic
is that
top
his wedding?
You got to play Mario, man. You got to get with it.
Wait, why is what?
Just a classic, really sharp-looking amiibo.
Oh man, this is gonna be awesome. This is awesome, guys.
What are you doing?
Doc's Amiibo Corner.
I'm winning because it's awesome.
Tell us give us the grid. Oh, he just won.
It was an awesome.
Tell us the winning move.
Yeah, I would like knights on 4.
Give me
It was rook to G2 and then G1 checkmate. Easy.
The Griebenschmar ploy.
Yeah.
Probably.
What is fun about this is when you do an opening, it'll tell you which opening that your opponent has done. So you
should work on your oration skills, and we should do it like auctioneer style.
You want me to announce your chess game, but auctioneer style?
Correct.
That would be extremely difficult.
Do that, but only say good move, bad move. That's it.
I got a good move. Good move.
Good move. Bad, 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 bad. Good move. Good move. Bad, bad,
Man,
bad.
that'd be a really stressful way to. Probably wouldn't help his efficacy in the game.
That's entirely possible.
Here's a game that I just bought yesterday because it was only like $5 on Steam.
Okay.
It's called. Oh, I would talk about one that I have played that I really, really enjoyed.
Please, God, do.
Hollow Knight.
Ah, yes.
Was a great. What genre is that, Dave? I can't remember.
It's a Metroidvania, is what that
Metroidvania.
is. It's a 2D platformer, side-scrolling, very large emphasis on exploration, is how I would describe it.
Loved it. Very stylishly done. Story was good. You really felt like you were in this lost civilization. Oh, and for the folks at home, again, Metroidvania game, obviously. And you're this little ghost guy who comes back from the dead, and you gotta go kill other undead ghost guys.
Yep.
So
you can see my playthrough of it, which I'm sure I will continue from August.
How far did you make it?
I have done 2 parts, each one about an hour. I am 2 hours in.
So it's about it took me quite a bit of time to.
Yeah, it's one of those games you take a lot of time kind of backtracking, getting used to the layout of the areas and stuff, but it's It's a lot of fun. Very well done. I agree with the graphics and the music and everything ties together very well to create a very cool atmosphere. Oh, I think do we have a viewer?
I really like the final boss battle too.
We might have a viewer.
Wait, final boss battle in what?
Hollow Knight. It's
Tommy Tom.
he's focusing on a lot here.
The games are a minute long. It can't take that much focus.
They take an immense amount of focus.
Just keep moving the rooks. That's all you have to do. Everyone knows this.
And so speaking of 2D side scrollers, then I just bought Salt and Sanctuary.
Another game I have heard about previously. Supposed to be good.
Not sure if that is a similar one to that, but I liked the little art style of the dude with the sword.
Did you play Hyper Light Drifter at all?
No, I need to play that one too.
That's a good one.
Idiotic.
Oh, here's another one I've played in the last year is Stardew Valley.
Farming.
Still kind of makes me mad.
It's supposed to be very people who get into it really enjoy it. Apparently, it's a very deep, lots of systems and stuff. So if you're looking,
Gotcha.
Val, did you play Axiom Verge at all?
Ooh.
No one is.
That's a much more straight analog to like original Metroid.
I was just offered a rematch after beating this guy.
I can't tell you how little I care about that. Okay, but definitely one to check out if you enjoy the Metroidvania.
Wait, what are you talking about with? Why is it a Metroid?
Metroidvania.
So Metroid and Castlevania are the two side-scrolling exploration, backtracking type games where you upgrade, weapons or abilities that allow you to access new areas, that type of thing.
What about Contra? Why wasn't Contra?
Because you don't
Contra's
upgrade
not
abilities.
anything like that.
Yeah, you don't have a
Contra's
world
not a
you can
single.
explore.
Contra's
It has
just
levels.
Contra's entirely level based. It's not a single world map. So
I mean,
if you wanted to name a game that had nothing to do with it, you've succeeded.
Yeah, it's nothing like any of those games.
It's not like FIFA either. I guess we could talk about FIFA.
no.
Okay, but yeah, that and Hyper Light Drifter are good. Let me scroll through other games I meant to play. Owlboy.
That is a ridiculous name.
Hyper Light Drifter? I like that name.
Oh, Ev, one game you and I both have to play. It looks like it's got kind of like a Super Nintendo RPG type game. Is Cosmic Star Heroine. I've heard great things about. So.
Cosmic Star Heroine.
Oh yeah.
Okay, man. I actually, add that to the long list of games that I have not played.
Oh yeah. The list
I like the name of the names of the games you've listed. The ones name-wise I like the best. Hyper Light Drifter first.
Mm-hmm.
Cosmic Star Heroine because you know what you're getting into. Axiom whatever, that one was pretty good, but I've already forgotten it, so it can't be that good. And I've forgotten everything else, so it has to be those three.
Hey Val, can you go into chat and see if it shows up for you? Because I've been trying to type into chat and I'm realizing it's not showing up.
Oh,
so
your
I
chat.
feel bad if Slow Cool.
I see any questions. Does my chat show up? I can see that.
Okay. I guess you are a chat.
Do we have a viewer?
It says we do.
You can't just sit there hiding in chat. Well, I don't know how often if they're still bad about updating chat, so they're probably long gone. But
that's possible.
But
if you're there, welcome.
Well, most
Can't
of
you see their name?
Yes,
and then we can
Slow
reach
Cool.
out and harass them.
Yeah,
Say,
or
"Come back,
we
please."
don't do that.
we just say their name over and over until they leave. I like that approach, kind of. Slow
I
cool,
needed
slow
to.
cool.
You know what? I needed
Slow
to play
cool.
more Splatoon with those friends you made on your trip out west. I feel bad that I didn't. Play
Oh
more Splatoon.
yeah, I should play. Speaking of games that I don't play anymore, and probably won't get back into, Overwatch. They play Overwatch.
There's a lot of. They've continued to release new characters. I just wish I cared. Because the game, like the game, I just never got it. I never found a character that I really got into. You know. Because like the game's really the game looks fantastic. I enjoy everything about it except actually playing it, which is the problem.
Yeah, I mean it's a cool concept.
I mean, the long spawn time and like the running back to the area of conflict is a bummer.
There's too much. There's honestly like it's for me. There's too much coordination required.
That's also
I mean, because you're supposed to, you die, and you're supposed to wait for like everyone to die, or decide. I mean, you have to decide whether or not to run back.
Yeah, it's all you can't make a big impact by yourself, really. Which, it's not that that's an easy thing to do, but. And also, I will say they have this huge league, tons of money backing it. I find it completely unwatchable as like a.
I do too. Yeah, I don't think
as an esport.
That's what I thought was ridiculous is they chose this game to back because I don't think it's.
I mean, it's such a huge game that people are going to watch it just because they play it.
But
look at League of Legends, people.
I think League of Legends is eminently more watchable.
It's a ship game, guys.
I had fun with League of Legends.
Thomas, God.
David,
I enjoy games that.
I do think David.
Oh, hey, here we go. I want Tommy Tom's StarCraft 2 corner. Okay, go.
Okay.
Yeah, what have you been playing lately? Oh,
Strats, meta. What do you got?
He's got one good cheese build.
Let's talk about.
What do you like in the next GSL season? Let's go.
Yeah, what's the future of StarCraft? Let's talk about that because
that is not what I mentioned.
There's not a lot of interest anymore in StarCraft 2. So what's coming up next?
Well, actually, I mean, there's still very robust.
Have you watched? Have you watched the tournaments?
Yeah. I get really bored.
Okay, who won the last season of GSL?
I mean, like, nobody cares anymore.
Cool. Okay, so you've watched nothing. Great.
We actually watched some of Maru, and who was that, Thomas? We watched Maru playing that Zest? Was it Zest? I don't know. That's a name. That's a person.
I don't know if Zest was in this most recent one. Scarlet did very well. That was very cool to watch. I really like her play style.
I do like it was Maru, I don't know. It was a Terran and Zerg. It was a really good matchup. Very long. Got the late game.
That's a good move.
Next topic, serious time.
Okay.
What do I have to do to get you guys to play The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past randomizer with me?
What's randomizer?
Okay, I'm glad you asked. Imagine you're playing A Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. And any treasure chest you open anywhere in the world can have any item.
I do love that concept.
Wait,
so you try to complete the game as fast as possible, finding and stuff is just randomly placed throughout the world.
I mean, I never actually beat the game regularly.
That's not.
You never beat.
I wouldn't be very quick at this.
Well, neither would any of us. We're not.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's been tournaments. It was on the last AGDQ.
I mean, like, I would not do well in a tournament. That's what I'm saying.
Oh my god.
He's not saying that we should compete in tournaments. He's just saying we should play it.
I was saying we should play it together.
Period.
I'm saying it's also worth watching the tournaments because they're just a blast to watch how the people reason out where to go next and what their strategy is in terms of the items they have. And because we've talked about speed running before on the podcast, obviously, but this is such a, I don't know, like I enjoy, like, races are some of the most interesting parts of speed running just to see the people compete, but this is such a different take on that.
Because
and I realize
you can't plan it out
because it's not because like you can't necessarily tell, every step of the way through who's ahead,
Right.
So that added. I've kind of determined that part of what makes something exciting is kind of a lack of information. So I think what made StarCraft Brood War.
Damn it!
The observing tools were primitive enough that people didn't necessarily know what everyone was making at any given moment. And I think that actually added a lot to the excitement of the matches because people couldn't necessarily know that a guy had, all this stuff coming up or all this upgrade advantage. And so those things would kind of happen and you'd call it as it went, whereas StarCraft 2, you can see everything from second to second. And, there's other reasons that StarCraft 2 may not be quite as exciting to watch as Brood War was, but I think that's a big part of it. And that puts this into speedrunning So not only do you get to see the cool tricks and glitches and stuff,
Why?
it has
Why
that
didn't I do that?
layer of thinking and knowledge of the game that I think is fantastic. So.
That's the one thing about speedrunning that doesn't appeal to me as much, since it's a bunch of memorizing, strategy and a path, and it's the same thing. But I love the elements of, like
the element of chance. There's just the randomness. So.
But obviously, they randomize it so that the game's possible, right?
It's designed so that it's always beatable, but certain people who know certain things or can do certain tricks can skip certain steps, or not necessarily require every item.
Wow, so you'd really have to know the game really, really well then.
Oh yeah, that's what's so cool to watch in the tournaments. There's actually one going on right now. Twitch TV /Speed Gaming, I believe, is the handle they go by. They've got races going almost constantly. It's a really cool channel to follow because they've got races of pretty much every type you could want going on. So it's a very cool idea they've gone with.
What were you going to say, Thomas?
I don't know.
It is hard to keep track of a conversation when you're playing minute chess.
So right now they've got Link to the. So they've actually got an any % no major glitches tournament. They've got Super Metroid weekly race. Super Metroid's a fantastic game to watch speed running.
You like this cool filter I have on my?
It's great. It's a cool.
Well, that's an amazing filter, Thomas. Or Tom.
But anyway, you can play it on emulator. So I need you guys to get into it with me because I need to not be sitting by myself trying to figure out this.
What?
Well, so like I said,
just download an emulator?
Yeah. So all you have to do is download the Japanese 1.0 version, and then you actually go to a site, say generate a randomizer seed. It does it. So we could all do the same randomizer seed and see who, either help each other through it or see who could beat it the fastest.
Yeah. See, my main problem with all of that is that I'm a kind of like how people are like way into like analog audio equipment. Like emulators just don't do it for me.
Well then buy a Super Nintendo and do it. And get this cartridge right here. Oh no, this won't help you. This is the 1.0 version of Super Link to the Past. So I do have the Super Famicom cartridge because I'm legit. No, here's what you get. You get a Super EverDrive, which takes an SD card.
Okay.
You download. You do the Link to the Past randomizer seed. You put it on the SD card. You put this in your Super Nintendo, and you play it. Done.
Too many steps. No, I would probably do that.
I say I'm talking to both of you out of courtesy, but I'm mainly talking to Valen.
I think we both know that.
But I don't know. It's just such a cool thing that I've really enjoyed watching. So I like to try to promote that if I can.
I mean, it's not StarCraft 2 or chess.
StarCraft 2. I mean, I've been watching more StarCraft 2 lately. It's a fantastic game. Although I want to play the remastered Brood War with you guys at some point. I think I
would be down for that.
I think
that'd be awesome.
I am down for that whenever. We should do that tonight.
But also, if you wanted a Super Nintendo and you're thinking, well,
I don't actually.
Okay,
no.
Let's pretend I'm not talking to you then.
Who are you talking to? The one viewer?
Slow cool.
I'm talking to Valen. Let's pretend you want one, but you're like, I don't have a CRT, so it's just going to look like shit, and I'll have a ton of input lag if I buy a Super Nintendo, right?
Well, I mean, you could just get a converter for CRT to HDMI.
Okay, I'm sure that looks great. I'm sure that looks wonderful.
Right.
Or you could do what I've done and pay a very reasonable amount of money for this little box right here. It's called the Super NT, and it's an HDMI Super Nintendo.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see this thing.
Really...
It's just a tiny little thing. You can put original controllers into it. It doesn't do software emulation like a lot of the Retrons and that sort of stuff. It's an FPGA, which is a field programmable gate array chipset, and if done robustly enough, it mimics the exact chipset of a Super Nintendo.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah, very cool. So I actually have an NES one also. They're just it's what I call future proofing, because you can play it on a modern TV without any input lag. It looks fantastic. You can alter pixel aspect ratio and all this sort of stuff. You can add scan lines if you want. I
do love adding scan lines. What's a scan line?
So when like CRT TVs, you remember those lines, those horizontal lines across the screen?
Uh-huh.
Those are scan lines.
Oh, fancy.
So you can recreate those if you want to. And I'll tell you what, for games like Donkey Kong Country, I recommend it. Because like the pixel art games look great with the sharp pixels, right? However, like 3D-ish, or games that tried to be 3D graphics, do not look good.
Interesting. Okay.
Without the kind of the blurring effect of scan lines.
Right. Okay. Wow. I think that's kind of fascinating. Like making things. Well, my super technical terminology, making things still look good even though they are old games.
Well, okay. I may have told you about this YouTube channel before, but it's called My Life in Gaming. And they do these.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Okay.
No.
I definitely recommend checking them out because they have really cool videos on almost every system you can think of and how to get the best picture quality out of each of those.
Oh, that's cool.
And they get into like SCART, RGB type stuff. I mean, it's really cool stuff. Just kind of watch all the different things they talk about, how to get the best picture out of anything from an NES to an N64 to a Dreamcast to a PS2. So
I do kind of like that, just like a super specific technical discussion.
Now, Ev,
basically anything.
For your randomizer playthrough, I'm going to recommend this controller here, which is an 8-bit DOE gamepad.
What?
It looks exactly like a Super Nintendo controller that you can hook up via USB to your computer. So, yeah, it's great.
Well, that's awesome. The only thing about a randomized run-through of that particular game is I don't know that I know that game well enough to.
So that that's what I thought.
That's
what I thought. But there's item trackers. So it's like a web page utility you open up. So let's say you get the hook shot. You click the hook shot. It's got a map next to it that kind of highlights. Oh, here's all the areas you can check with just the hook shot. And it updates each time. So like in between just watching a couple races yourself, and you, like you just use that to track what items you have. It actually makes it like it's still hard, but it's kind of fun to puzzle through once you kind of have a basic as much of an idea as I have right now. It's kind of fun to try to puzzle through it, but that helps tremendously in what have I checked, what have I not checked type of thing. So.
I would need that because otherwise I wouldn't be able to appreciate.
I think everyone. I think the people even in the tournament probably use it just to because otherwise they'd be checking much more often, their menu screens and that sort of stuff. Why can't I see chat? I mean, not that it says we have 4 viewers.
I don't believe it either. I've got any questions. Does my chat show up? Is the only thing I see in chat.
Okay, cool.
If you are asking a question, you viewers at home. Our apologies.
Maybe shout it a little louder in the room you're sitting in. But.
I do really like this visual setup we have going right here, since Tommy Tom
just we can just see you just in the corner there. But hopefully we'll podcast a little more often. We've always been talking about it, but it's just we're lazy. So.
Well, it would be nice too, because then we could get. I like when, any members of our family stop by.
Yeah, I like doing it, kind of regardless. But when people stop by, it's a blast. So, one more thing I recently bought. Let me go get it.
And we all wait on pins and needles. Is that the correct use of that term? I'm going to go with yes. As NSF_Doc goes and grabs.
Now, did we talk about Nintendo Labo at all?
No, I've
What
not
is
heard of
that?
Nintendo Labo.
Here's Nintendo Labo.
What is it?
This is the
I don't know.
This is the variety kit.
I don't see anything, dude.
Okay,
Here we
just
go.
wait just a little bit.
There's a 5-second delay.
Oh, is that like the engineering?
These are a bunch of things, a cardboard, but let's see, the variety kit, you can make a piano, you can make a little car, you can make a fishing pole, you can make you can make a little house, and this interacts with software, which you can actually...
Computers.
Yeah, there's software for the Nintendo Switch. You can actually program yourself to I'm not creative enough or knowledgeable enough to make anything cool out of it, but I'm really excited to see what people do make out of it. The piano itself, you can just through it's an IR camera through one of the controllers that looks at reflective tape on the keys. But you can also bend a bar to do pitch, you can do different sound effects. So it's just such a cool idea, I think, that I mainly just wanted to kind of support that idea itself more than how much I'm going to get out of it. I'm obviously I'm going to make the piano and have my 2-year-old play with it because that'll be hilarious. But
I mean, okay.
So
what?
I mean, can't I just get an Arduino?
Oh my god!
Do that all
Yeah, sure
myself?
you can. If I can program a piano out of nothing, but then
You
what do I need
could.
anything for?
You
I've
could,
got
is what
a
I'm saying.
mind palace. I can just play whatever I want in my mind palace.
Well, I think Doc's point.
Whether it's doable through other means isn't.
I understand Doc's point. I'm just trying to destroy every point he brings up.
that has been
Okay.
your theme.
All right, I'm going to build the fishing pole here. You program a fishing game in an Arduino, and we'll see who does it first and who has more fun.
I would have a lot if I really wanted to spend my time doing that. It would give me so much joy to beat you doing that, and then having all the.
I eagerly await your finished product.
I'm not going to. If I didn't have this current job that I do have,
Or any of the other 90 million things you would like to do. I mean, I don't think that's the
there's
only
just a
thing.
lot of stuff,
I would
isn't
like to get back into Arduino.
But
Not on my list of things I have time for.
oh yeah, so those are. What else is? I don't know if there's anything coming out really. God of War is obviously huge, but that's not.
Is it?
Not it is, but that's not.
Yeah.
Not necessarily
That's
in
the
our
big-
wheelhouse. I'm gonna play it and we'll see how it goes. But
Yeah, I mean, in terms of games coming, I mean, Fortnite's big right now, and I have no
God,
desire to play that.
the battle royale games have completely passed me by. I just can't.
I still like PUBG, but that's
And say
so...
you guys,
yes.
say quite a few of our group is still Player Unknown's Battlegrounds,
Why?
or as I call it now, Public G. Yeah, and I don't.
Tommy Tom is a
'Cause
huge fan.
The shooting feels like ass, and just I run around collecting shit that's meaningless for 20 minutes, and then I restart.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
You guys...
I mean,
That's one
I
thing.
get it. I get it. I just hate it. But
I don't get it. I just.
yeah,
It's like you-
Fortnite is just enormous.
It's like you want to wait around for 15 minutes before any action happens.
That's precisely the point. That way you don't have to be like...
I mean,
You can text, you can just sit there and talk. It's kind of like this, only there's a game also.
You know what I've been kind of feeling though?
What?
A little classic Halo Capture the Flag. That's what I've been feeling.
Well, I do miss that. I mean, I wish I could just
Ah.
boot that up right now. That would be... I would seriously enjoy that.
I would not. They've got to do the next Halo's got to be coming up, right?
Well, I mean, but I'm afraid that they've lost... You know, the underlying magic.
I think Halo, but Halo 5. We had a good time with that multiplayer, though, didn't we? That was a fun multiplayer.
I never made it past 4, I don't think. But
I guess it doesn't.
I recall enjoying 5 multiplayer more than 4 for sure.
it doesn't speak strongly to me that I don't even remember 5 at all. I remember 4.
Like you, me, and T-Bob played 5 quite a bit. Remember they had that one mode that I hated, but you guys kept wanting to play, like knockout or breakout.
Yeah, that was okay. You were right that it wasn't. The knockout wasn't extremely well done.
That wasn't well, but the base multiplayer I really like. That felt much more kind of like in the Halo 3 mold than 4 did. So I thought it was a step in the right direction that I'm willing to see where they go with Halo 6.
As long as they just keep, I mean, all they have to do is just give me cool vehicles to drive around. They're still not
like just good maps, right? Like, and that's been the bane of Destiny multiplayer. Like, I just can't. It's unfathomable to me that one, Bungie can't make a capture the flag mode, and 2 can't seem to make more than like 2 good multiplayer maps.
I mean, I agree. I don't get it all. I mean, it's just. So.
And I hope they get Destiny 2 figured out, because the actual mechanics of playing it were just as good as it was in the first one, but none of us have stuck with it nearly as hard as we did the first game.
Well, I don't think that the expansions for Destiny 2, I think they've been increasingly worse.
Well, it's just been the one so far.
Well, yeah, but Curly's review was not strong.
I've played 3 missions, and it's been like the missions have been, like the story itself has been fine. Like I've enjoyed the story, but like it's there's nothing driving you to get certain items like there was in the first game. There's no there's no Mythoclast. There's no let's keep running the raid to try to get this gear. Like they went too far in the other direction of giving you everything, so that no one really had anything that felt special or earned, and they kind of got rid of the random rolls and weapons, which in one way was good because I didn't have to run a certain strike 58 times to try to get a good grasp of Malik, but was bad in the way that I didn't want to play it as much. You know, it's an interesting. Like I'm not pretending it's an easy problem to solve, but it is a problem they need to solve. So
I agree. I mean, I was reading. I mean, I don't know how verifiable this source is, but they were saying that their active player numbers are way down.
Oh yeah, it has to be. Like the people I followed that played Destiny 1 like straight through, all the way through, never really took a break. Have moved on to Monster Hunter World. They're doing God of War playthroughs, like they're doing other games. So that has to be true. But I don't. There's like if they do a good, I don't think they're so far down that if they do like if the next expansion or the one after that fixes a bunch of stuff, I think a ton of people are willing to come back. So
I mean, the idea is great. I mean, the idea I think is still.
I say that as we've talked about tons of times, like the skeleton is just so interesting and cool. In terms of like the different factions that they've got so much stuff to build with. And the shooting is so good. Like, it's just, if
the shooting is so good, now if only we had things to consistently shoot at.
Yeah, or just stuff that we wanted to pursue, right? I mean, there's just not
right. I mean, too.
That I'm interested in, that I want to like try to run, do Iron Banner or do Trials of the Nine to try to get, because it's a little too easy to get them, and once you get them, they're not different enough from guns I've already got.
There's no. So I mean, that was the cool part about the original is that there were a lot of hard to get guns that felt very different and were
I think cool. they took the complaining about it being frustrating to get them a little too much to heart, because it was so prevalent, people complaining about like the Yellow Horn or the Mythoclast or getting all, like, it was so hard to get these guns, but that was what drove people to do it is the problem. Like,
I think, and the problem that they should have realized that that's a good problem to have, really, if people are complaining.
Yeah. It's a tough, but it's a tough thing when that's all you hear for a year, 2 years or what. Like,
I think they honestly, in retrospect, did a very good job of. I mean, you have to marry a little bit of grindiness with the reward, because otherwise, everybody wants everything good immediately. I mean, that's always going to be the case.
Oh yeah.
And you got to make people like. I mean.
But just because people think they want that doesn't mean they actually want it. Is the problem.
Exactly.
The problem is people don't know what they want.
Yeah, I mean, well, Because then you'll also see a bunch of people complaining about the fact you can't equip multiple exotic weapons at one time.
Yeah, but that's
Well,
but making that change wouldn't make it any better because then you're just
exactly
cutting the weapon use by 90% probably.
What people really want is they want that grindiness. It's just like the people complaining about that. They just wanted to get lucky and roll the dice the first time and have the gun before everybody else.
I just want to have the best things and lord it over my friends type of thing. So, I mean, they've shown that they can. Like the Taken King was a huge step. Like the Dark Below was a pretty lame expansion. Like that.
I thought so.
The raid was fun the first time, but I don't think we ever ran it nearly as much as the Vault of Glass. But
we didn't.
But the Taken King was a much better, a very good expansion that we played a ton of. But so hopefully they get it going. But right now there's not much reason to play Destiny. So.
Well, I think we've been going for...
We're about 50 minutes, I think.
50 minutes? I think this would be good. Well, normally this would be a good place to wrap up and address questions. However, it doesn't look like we're probably going to get any questions.
Well, let's see if our, in-studio audience member, Tommy Tom, has any questions.
I have 0 questions, of course. Did you expect?
He is on 3 bases right now.
If I had to give a reward for least useful podcast co-host, I think we've got
I'm glad to take that title. I'm about to decimate this Karen player.
Consider it yours for the foreseeable future.
Oh no, he came in!
No, that's okay. No, you're fine.
Idiot.
You're fine.
He didn't actually anticipate. Oh, he got a single shot off. I feel.
No, we got
those are tough.
Got like 5 shots, but it wasn't worth it.
No.
Just for the viewers at home, what just happened was there was a little push on.
Oh, he did hit my main.
Oh, that's a lot of. Lost a lot of simultaneous.
He also sees my change up here.
A lot of damage from those liberators. Those guys are still very good.
Just get my lamp there.
Well, since we have no questions, I still think.
Okay, here's something to think about.
Are we stopping the podcast?
Between this and our next episode, what's a game that you want to try to play at least a little?
Okay. That's a good. Let me look through my library. Here's one game we need to do, because I still think it would be fun, is Crusader Kings 2, since we both own it.
Yes, that game. Yeah.
But I don't think I'm gonna tag that one.
That would be a tough one.
Let's see.
How many people can you have more than 2 people in a game on that one?
In Crusader Kings?
Yeah.
Yes, I believe you can do multiplayer.
Okay. We should probably.
Which would be pretty. Yeah, I mean, I think that would actually make it. It's very. I don't fully understand the mechanics. It's kind of.
I think it's something
complex.
we just try to do crazy stuff and see what happens. Would be our first.
I do like that. I mean, that's the kind of thing I want to do. That I want to.
Yeah.
Get one of my people married to some weird country and have a weird alliance.
What are you talking about now?
This game, Crusader Kings 2. It's a turn-based game where you try to. It's focused on the politics of like the Middle Ages, so marrying people into other families and trying to like set yourself up as like a powerful ruler. And it has actual historical maps from like different points in history. So you can start out with how the actual political dynasties were in 1100. You can take over any family you want to, and then you use the in-game mechanics to try to, become more powerful.
It's a very deep strategy in that slow strategy game, but it can create a lot of crazy situations. I think I'm going to try to do my best to try to complete a randomizer playthrough.
Okay. I'm going to play some Salt and Sanctuary.
That's good.
And also, no, I'm just gonna. Why am I doing multiple things? That would. I'm setting myself up
one game for now. One game for now. We don't have to. Let's not go crazy.
Salt and Sanctuary. Since I just bought that, I feel like my best chance of playing something is if I play it immediately after purchase.
You got the energy going towards in that direction, so that's good.
Oh, I can tell you a game not to ever play or get. Sid Meier's Ace Patrol. Heard of that one?
I think I've seen you play a little bit of that one.
Oh yeah, yep. A turn-based World War I fighting plane simulator. Really, really bad. I completed that, I think, in the conversation I was having with you. So
I think you
3
did.
or 4 hours. But also took a very lighthearted approach to World War I. Just kind of some really cartoonish male and female pilots, and if your guy gets shot down, they get captured, but you get them back at Christmas, kind of thing. So
Classic.
it's
Classic.
lighthearted, good old lighthearted World War I game.
All
With-
right.
Can't believe it was a game. Still upset about that. All right, on that note, I think we end the podcast and we jump into.
StarCraft.
I would play StarCraft.
All right. Farewell, everybody. So we
Thank
moved
you for
on
stopping into episode 13, Shudder, the Despot's Commander. We are No Shots Fired. Special, huge thanks to our special guest star, Tommy Tom.
Invaluable contributor. Always focused. Just the focus is really something to admire.
Oh, hey. We've got a suggestion now at the tail end of things, at the very last moment. My good friend Inept Mage saying Mega Man 2.
That is correct, sir. That is the music that's playing right now.
Mega Man 2.
Oh.
I will make it louder.
Oh, he wants to. Oh, he's calling out the song. I didn't realize it wasn't. I can't hear. All right. To StarCraft.
Well, I think.
Inept Mage, join us in StarCraft.
Say, do you want to play some StarCraft? I guess we could do this on Steam. Okay.
Farewell, everyone. Slow Cool, thanks for stopping by. If indeed you are still there,
Or were ever there in the first place.